My name's Solomon, and today I'm going to be talking about affordable housing. And as most people might think, why should I pay for affordable housing? It doesn't apply to me. I'm living good. I'm living lavish. And you might be thinking to yourself, it doesn't affect me, so why do I need to worry about it? Well, the truth is, you might have a family member that you know that struggles with their income and struggles with the amount of money they make and trying to make ends meet to live life. So today, that's what I'm going to be talking about. Why should we pay for other people's housing? The truth is, of over several Americans today face this financial burden of trying to find somewhere to live that's affordable and that they can just enjoy living there. And that's difficult. And if you think about someone like your mother or your grandmother or even your father, someone that is very close to you, imagine them struggling. And what would you do to help them not be in that place? The truth is, 1 to 4 Americans spend half their paycheck solely on housing. And if you think about that, that's a lot. And if they have a family and they have to buy groceries, you have to think about where's that money going to come from? And all that leads to is debt. Another reason is people often say, why should I worry about this? The truth is, this affects more Americans than you can possibly imagine. You probably go to your day-to-day life and you go home and you don't even think about it. You don't think about where does this money come from? You don't think about other people's financial struggles. Where does their money come from? If we work together as Americans and as citizens that care for one another, I think that we can definitely make a change here. And I think that's something that we should strive for. Another thing I want to talk about is why we should be selfless and caring. Because that's one thing that we're taught, is to care for one another, especially with family. You care for your brother, you care for your sister, you care for your mother. That's something that you're taught, that's something that's instinctive. So why does that just have to end with family? Why can't we do that with people that we don't even know? And it's simple and it's an easy change. And it's something that we should do. Let's get to the facts. See, a lot of this could be opinionated, and then a lot of this can be said, well, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that. Well, let's get to the facts about it, and let's show that in the circle. 2.6 million Americans are cost burdened by paying 1/3 of their money strictly on housing. Whether that's a mortgage, whether that's monthly payments, whether that's an apartment. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, that doesn't apply to me, so why should I worry about that? Well, let me tell you why. Other Americans are struggling, and the truth is, not all of us are set up that way. Not all of us are able to live that life. And one goal I've personally had for myself is, I want financial freedom. And you might be sitting there thinking and wondering yourself, what is financial freedom? Financial freedom is the sole base of looking in your bank account and being able to say, I want to buy that car, no worries. It's my kid's birthday and I want to spend a lot of money on him, no worries. I don't have to worry about where's that money going to come from for groceries. I'm reaching into my groceries now. I'm reaching into this and I can't afford that. We don't want that mindset. We want financial freedom. And that's something that I think every American deserves and every American should have. Another fact, not one state has an adequate supply of affordable housing. What does that mean? Not a single state has affordable housing acts set up to help Americans find places to live, find places that are affordable for them. Most people buy houses or buy places that they can nearly afford, that they can afford maybe by a little margin, which leads them to being financially burdened. And let's talk about another issue that also plays into this, homelessness. I think the biggest reason we have homelessness is not because of drugs and not because of certain life decisions, but I think it has a lot to do with finding housing. Because if you talk to a lot of homeless people and you hear their stories, a lot of them can't afford it. They can't afford working a minimum wage job, trying to find where that money's going to come from, trying to find a place to live. You can't pay a mortgage making $7.25 an hour. You just can't. It's really hard, especially if you have kids. So I think that's another reason why we should make this such a big deal. Conclusion. So in conclusion, people don't care about this situation. This is why it's not brought up on a bigger level or a bigger spotlight. Because people are so focused on themselves and what they have rather than being caring for others. And I think that's a big issue. Without caring for others, America is going to end. Because the truth is, the way our country was built was caring for one another. If you look at the Pilgrims and the Indians, for example, Pilgrims came here with nothing. And the Indians helped them learn the culture, learn the land. And they had Thanksgiving, and that's something that was very important, where they came together and they cared for one another. And I think that if America can get back to its roots of where we care for each other, and we really look and dive deep into what we can do to make America great, I think that is the biggest change that we can make. So instead of having the mindset of, well, it doesn't apply to me, it's not my problem, it's not my worry, think about, what if that was my parents? What if that was my grandma? What if that was my cousin? Someone that you love. Imagine them being out there. Imagine them living on the side of the road. All because they can't afford a house. Sucks, doesn't it? So in conclusion, let's come together as Americans and let's truly do what's right and find and make a way for affordable housing for everyone. Thank you. That's my presentation, and I hope you all enjoyed it.